Okay, so we're going to do some math here, some calculations, and just think about how we might go about doing some things. And so let's say we want to do some kind of math puzzle. So we're going to get an input, enter any number, like that, okay? And then when we get that number, we want to convert it into, we'll say any whole number. We want to convert it into an integer. So we're going to say x equals int x, right? If we forget to do this, then it's going to treat that number as text instead of a number. Okay? Alternatively, you can do this instead. So we can do what's called nesting of functions. And so we can wrap input with the int function, and I'll do it all for us on one line. So this is a little bit more efficient way of doing this. And these are both equivalent. You know, sometimes the most efficient way isn't necessarily the best way, just because, you know, maybe it's more difficult to read or understand what's going on. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll take this one, and we're going to do a little bit of a math puzzle here. And there's a chance for us to learn something. So we're going to say input, and we'll say input between, we'll say from 1 to 6. All right, and what's going to happen is we're going to do some operations on it, and our result is going to contain these digits. Okay, as a result of these operations, regardless of what number we put in. And we can even do something like this. So we can say x equals x percent 6 plus 1. And we'll explain what that does later. But so if they enter a value that's not equal to 6, this actually is going to give us a number between 1 and 6. So if we run this, we're going to say python math functions.py, and let's say we do a 7, it's going to give us the number 2. That's not what I want, though. I want the number, let's see, if I put in, we want 7 here. And we subtract 1. That's not what I want either. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Maybe just want that. No. Okay. I need to think about how to do this. Basically, I want it to wrap around and give me 1 through 6. So 6 should give me 6. Maybe I go like this. X plus 1 percent 7 minus 1. Sorry, now I get stuck in this fun little math puzzle here. So 1 gives me 1, and a 6 gives me -1. So that didn't work. Let's see, what did a 4 give me? 4 gives me 4, so it just doesn't work for 6. It works for everything else except for 6, because 6 is giving me 0. I don't want 6 to give me 0. Okay, I'm getting off track here, so we won't do that. We're gonna do something else. We'll say if x is greater than 6. I'm just gonna return an exit. Please. Oh. Sorry, everything's down here. Please enter larger or a number less than 6. And then we need to exit in. Sorry, I'm making this too complicated. Okay, so now we're going to exit. Okay, so There we go. Let's go with 6, and that worked. Let's go with 7, and then exit. Okay. So that part's unnecessary, but we're going to do that anyway. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a new variable to track our result. And we'll say result equals, and we're going to start by multiplying by 9. So x times 9. Okay? And so we've multiplied x times 9 and saved it back into result. Now we're going to say result equals, we're going to take what we have so far, result, and now we're going to multiply it by 111. Okay, now we're going to say result equals result times 1001. Okay, and then we're going to say result equals result divided by 7. We're going to print out the results. Okay, so let's try it. Try 1, and it's got 142,857, right? 142,857. Oh, that's with 7 number 8 as well. Okay, and then if we try it with 2, 142,857, 142,857, 4, and a 6. Then we try to put in a 7. We try to put in a 0, we'll break it, which gives 0. Okay? So that's a fun little math game. And so what we did here is we did some operations on that number, and then we printed out the result. Okay? So each time we're taking the result and we're applying an operation to it, and then we're saving it back into here, right? So we multiply 1001, we save it back into here, divide it 7, we save it back into here. And you can see here that decimal place, our answer is a floating point number. Okay, so these are all floating point numbers that we get as an answer. If we want to make sure it stays as an integer, we can go like this. Okay, and then it rounds it to, or it converts back to an integer. The reason why it's a floating point number is because this division operation is going to result in a float. We can also do this double backslash, which does integer division, and so now you can see that it gives us the whole number without converting it to an integer there. Okay, some other things I want to show you. Let's see. Any number. Let's say that we want to figure out, let's say that we are selling a house and we want to figure out our commission. So what we're going to say, we want floats this time. Float input percent. What is your percent commission? Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to say, so let's say we're selling a house to a real estate agent, and say, how much did the house sell for? And we'll convert that to a float as well. And then we're going to say, your commission is, make an F string here. And so to calculate that, we want to convert this percent into a decimal. So we're going to say, we can, instead of using y, we can say percent, and this will be sale price, we'll say. So commission equals sale price times percent. Actually, let's do this. We'll say percent as decimal equals percent divided by 100. as decimal. So then say your commission is, and we'll say commission. Put the $sign here in front. And then we're going to say print this is percent of sale price. Okay, so let's try that out. So what we're doing is we're grabbing those inputs. This time we're converting them to floats. We're taking the percent and converting that to a decimal, and then we're calculating commission by multiplying the sale price times percent as decimal, and then we're getting that commission and we're printing it along with the percentage of that how much what percent it is and the sales price. Okay, so let's try that now. And let's say it sold for $10,000, and let's say your commission was 3%. Okay. And there you go. It gives us the commission saying it's 3% of $1,000. Let's say though that we wanted to keep 2 decimal points. What we do here is we're going to put a colon because it's a dollar sign, right? It's a dollar amount, right? We want to keep 2 decimals, so we'll put 2F. So anytime we want to format a float with a certain amount of decimal points, we put the colon there and the 0.2F. We'll do it for all 3. And colon 2F. Okay. And then we run that. Let's say it's sold for $150,000. And our percent commission is 3. Okay. And now you can see we get the 2 decimal points right there, and right there, and right there. I wonder why there's a space there. Oh, because I put a space here. There we go. That solves it. Okay, so 10,000. We'll say $1 million. We get a 2% commission. Okay, and there you go. So these are some math functions. The specific things I wanted to show you. We were converting to floats. You know, here we converted that percent to a decimal. Did some multiplication here, and then we printed our outputs, and then we formatted our outputs to have 2 decimal points or 2 digits after the decimal point. And so we run it one more time, give ourselves some more difficult numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.78 and 2.53 as our commission. And now we get these kind of weird or less easy numbers to work with. Okay, so anyway, some math here, and then hopefully this is enough to kind of get you going on the next part of the assignment.